We use it every single day, but have you ever stopped to think about what the World Wide Web actually is? How does it all work? Well, it's one of those technologies that has completely reshaped our world, and today we're going to break down how it all got started, and we'll begin with the biggest question of them all. Okay, first things first, let's clear up the #1 point of confusion right out of the gate. You hear people use internet and web like they're the same thing all the time, right? I know I do. But are they? The short answer is a big, resounding no. Not at all. Here's probably the easiest way to think about it. The internet is the infrastructure. It's all the physical hardware, the fiber optic cables crisscrossing the ocean floor, the servers and giant data centers, all of it. The internet is the system of roads. The World Wide Web, on the other hand, is the information that travels on those roads. It's the collection of websites and pages you visit. So if the internet is the roads, the web is all the buildings, houses, and shops. One's the hardware, the other is the service running on it. So if the web is a system that was built on top of the internet, then who was the architect? Well, the amazing thing is it really all started with one person, in one place, with one truly brilliant idea. Let's jump back to the beginning. And this is it. This is the sentence that kicked the whole thing off. It comes from the original proposal written by a British computer scientist, Sir Tim Berners-Lee. Back in 1989, he was working at CERN, the big physics lab in Switzerland, and he saw a problem. All these smart researchers had a really hard time sharing their work with each other. His solution? A system to link documents together using something he called hyperlinks. He basically imagined creating a literal web of information. And once he got going, his idea took off like a rocket. By 1991, the very first web browser and server were up and running. But you know, the most important moment on this timeline, the real game changer, is 1993. That's when CERN decided to make the technology for the web totally free, open to the public, for everyone. That single decision is why it became this incredible global resource instead of just some private lockdown product. A year later, the W3C was created just to help manage the standards and keep it all working together.
But here's the thing, Berners-Lee wasn't just an idea guy. He actually built the engine to make it all run. He created 3 core technologies that are still the foundation of the web today. You've got HTML, which is the basic language used to build a web page. Then there's the URI, what we all call a URL now, which gives every single document its own unique address. And finally, HTTP, which is just the set of rules that lets your browser ask a server for a page and for that server to send it right back to you.
Okay, so we have those 3 core technologies. How do they come together to build the websites we use every single day? Let's zoom in a bit and look at the anatomy of a website, and we'll stick with that city analogy to make it all click. So the smallest, most basic unit of the web is the web page. It's just a single document written in that HTML code. In our digital city, think of a web page as one single room inside a building. Now, if a web page is one room, then a website is the entire building. It's simply a collection of all those related pages, all grouped together under one name. And where does this building exist? Well, it sits on a web server. The server is that powerful computer that's on 24/7, storing all the files that make up the website. It's the plot of land our building sits on, just waiting for visitors to knock on the door and ask to see a page. Okay, so we have our city and it's full of these buildings, these websites. But a city isn't very useful if you can't get around, right? So how do you find the exact building you're looking for? And how do you jump from one place to the next?
Well, that's where the URL comes in. A URL is the unique street address for every single page on the entire World Wide Web. When you type that address into your browser, you are giving it the exact coordinates of the building and even the specific room that you want to visit.
But the real magic, the thing that actually puts the web in the World Wide Web, is the hyperlink. These are the clickable links that let you instantly jump from one page to another. It doesn't matter if it's in the same building or a building on the other side of the planet. Hyperlinks are like magical doorways or little teleporters for our digital city. So, Tim Berners-Lee designed the blueprint. He laid out the plans for our amazing digital city. But for that city to grow from a tiny town into a massive, sprawling global metropolis, it was going to need something else. It was going to need an enormous power grid. Just sheer computational horsepower to support billions of people at once. Which brings us to this number, 65,536. Now, what in the world could that possibly have to do with the web? Well, this is the number of processors that Nigerian computer scientist Dr. Philip Emeagwali linked together in 1989 to perform one of the fastest computations the world had ever seen at the time. Now let's be really clear here. Dr. Emeagwali did not invent the web, but his incredible work in what's called massively parallel computing, basically getting tens of thousands of computer brains to all work together on one problem, was a fundamental breakthrough. It proved the concepts behind the kind of high-performance power grid that the web would absolutely need to scale globally and support all of us at the same time.
So, with the architecture in place and the incredible power to scale it up, the web went on to change, well, just about every part of human life. It has completely reshaped the world we live in.
I mean, the impact is almost impossible to overstate. Just try to imagine daily life before the web. Now, because of it, we have the world's entire library in our pockets. We connect with people anywhere, instantly. The very ideas of shopping and banking have been turned upside down. Even how we entertain ourselves, how we work, it's all been rebuilt on this digital foundation.
So, Sir Tim Berners-Lee's idea gave us a revolutionary way to organize and connect information, and it really defined the last 30 years of human progress. It just changed everything. Which, of course, leaves us with one final thought to chew on. What's the next big idea that's going to do it all over again? Thanks for watching.